Good morning to all of you. Our previous video lessons, we have completed chapter 1 and chapter 2. Chapter 1 was about computer system, about computer organization. And chapter 2 was of hardwares and types of hardwares, computer hardwares. Now today we are going to start the third chapter, that is software. It is about software and types of software. So in first chapter we discussed about computer system. What are the different components of a computer? What it contains, how it works, how it functions, what is the use of CPU, what is memory, what is register, all these, which was also very important topic, right? First, that is known as computer organization, how computer is organized, right? Then after finishing computer system chapter 1, we started chapter 2, which was about hardware. So after assembling computer, we assemble hardware also in a computer system to make it function properly. So we went through the topic, we covered the topic about hard disk drive, primary memory and secondary memory actually. In primary memory, RAM, ROM, and in secondary memory, hard disk drive and other secondary memory, magnetic media and optical media, CD, DVD, Blu-ray, and then input and output devices we covered. Now today we are going to start types of software. Now what is software? After assembling hardware, what we need after assembling hardware, computer is ready to run, computer is ready to work, computer is ready to function. And after getting it ready to function, we need some software to install into the computer that we may be able to utilize its potential, utilize its capability. And how that happened? That happened only by the help of software. We install software first. When we purchase computer from any shop, then first of all we install software. Which software we install? Some operating system software we install, like Windows, right, or Linux, or any Mac, any operating system. Depends on our computer system or depends on our requirement. We install operating system. Then we again install more applications through which we can perform our tasks, right? So all those are softwares which we are installing after assembling, after purchasing the computer, after assembling the hardware, configuring the hardware, assembling and configuring the hardware, we install softwares. Now the question arises is that why software we need to install? The answer is we need to install software so that we may be able to do our task, may be able to complete our task. There are many tasks which we have to complete through computer system, so that is why we install softwares in a computer system. But this is not actually the answer. The answer is that we install software. This can be the answer, okay, but the perfect and accurate answer, logical answer is that we need to install software so that we can, as a user, we can be able to communicate with the hardware of the system. There are different types of hardwares as we studied in chapter 2. So to communicate with the hardware of the system, we install software. right? First of all, we install operating system software, then we install some other software. And why we install? Because to communicating with the hardware of the system. So when we communicate with the hardware of the system, everything is done at the bottom layer only, and that is hardware, layer of hardware only. So when we can instruct, when we can communicate with the hardware of the system, then only computer is going to perform the tasks. That is why we need software. Now, what are the different types of software? And so what is the software actually? So software are an application through which we can perform many tasks. That is a software. Simple definition, we can say that. Now, what are the different types of software? So there are two types of software. One is system software and one is application software. So there are two types of software. One is system software and one is application software. So now, whenever you are studying, whenever you are reading or learning anything, I suggest that go through the meaning of the term, whatever is written. Here it is written system software, system software and application software. Right. So I mostly go with the term, meaning of the term, and I find out the meaning of the term, and then I compare the definition with the meaning of the term. Now, so there are two types of software, system software and application software. Now, what is system software? First we will see system software, then we will go through application software. So what is system software? As the name is, a software which runs the system. Very simple. That is system software. A software which runs the system, that is system software. Now, a software which runs the system, that is system software. As for example, any operating system software like Windows, Linux, Unix, DOS, all these are Macintosh. All these are operating system, and which all these are operating system, and all these are system software, comes under system software category. Why? Because by the help of this, how it operates the system, it can communicate with the hardware of the system. It make us communicate with the hardware of the system. That is why it is system software, right? And also it controls the internal computer operations. These operating system software, it operates the system, it controls the internal operation of the system and make best use of the hardware. These operating system only uses the hardware of the system with all potential. That is operating system. Makes the hardware work as it is desired to be. Right. So that is system software. Now, system software is of 4 types. System software is of 4 types. First one is operating system software, which operate the system. Second one is language processor. As the name is, as I told you before, that my logic is always I go through the terms and find out the meaning of the terms, and then I go through the definition, whether that definition is matching with the meaning or not. And in 99% I will be it gives the accurate definition as per its meaning. Means same definition as per the meaning. So language processor, which processes the languages. Now, language which process the languages. What language it process? Hindi, English? No. It processes the computer language. There are many computer languages like C, C++, C hash, Java, Python, many. So to run those programming language, those are programming languages known as, and to make those programming language understand by the hardware of the system, we need some translator, interpreter, which convey the meaning by converting the language in machine language to the system. That is what it is talking about. Second is language processor, which processes the language. Third is device drivers. Device drivers. Drivers which drive the device. Device drivers. Device drivers means which run the devices, different devices. What are the different devices attached to the computer? Keyboard, mouse, printer, scanner, webcam, means if external cam is, or CD, DVD, all these are devices which we attached to the computer. To run those devices, we need to install driver of those devices. As the name is driver, like bus driver, truck driver. So these drivers also run the different devices. So different devices, when we attached to the computer, then those devices contains their software programs which we need to install after attaching those devices to the computer system, and then those softwares communicate with the hardware of the system and convey the message to the hardware of the system so that devices perform smoothly. Then is utilities software. Utilities software, as the name is, a software, utility software. What is utility? Utility means tools which we use to clean up our houses. Aujar, tools. So that is utility software. Software which are containing tools to maintain our computer system. And what are the different tools through which we can maintain our computer system? Now here, what is the meaning of maintenance? Maintenance means to clean up the system, to format the disk, to compress the disk drive, to scan the drive, all these. So those type of software through which we can perform all these functions known as utility software. Right. So I have provided, there are notes for you all to go through. Whatever I told you, all those are written in a notes. Right. So go through the notes. One thing which I need to cover is that language processor. Second one was language processor. So there are three types of language processor: assembler, interpreter, compiler. Assembler are, what is language processor? As I told you before, that language processor converts the programming language into machine language, which understand only 0 and 1. And what this 0 and 1 is? Logically it is 0 and 1, we say, right? In our document, in the paper, we write 0 and 1, but actually it is off and on. 0 means off and 1 means on in a circuit system of a computer. Anywhere, on a motherboard or anywhere, right? In the CPU. So there are three types of language processor: assembler, interpreter and compiler. So assembler, language processor convert high level language into machine language, and assembler converts assembly language into machine language. Assembly language is also itself considered as low level language because it is different from other high level language. What is the difference between high level language and low level language? Low level language is a machine language, we can say that. And what is high level language? High level language are those language which we can understand, which we can read and understand. Okay, the meaning of this is ये यार, इसका meaning ये है. That is high level language, means it is of high level, right? Means which can understand, which we can understand by reading by seeing the statement, right? Like print. Oh, that was for printing purpose, print purpose, right? So that is high level language, which is in a simple English type of, which is written in an English type of language, in English statement. That is high level language. And low level language is near to machine language, low level language. Now assembly language is a low level language because assembly language is near to machine language, exactly not a machine language but near to machine language, because its code is different than of other high level language. It uses some other instructions like add, sub, mult, such type of instruction. For jump, JMP, jump. Little bit similar to high level language. Such type of instruction it assembler uses. And the language processor that converts the assembly language into machine language, that is known as assembler. Then is interpreter. Second one is interpreter. What is interpreter? Interpreter is also a translator or language processor which converts high level language into again machine language, but it converts line by line. It first converts one line, then second line it will convert. If there will be error in any line, then it stops going further, unless and until we will not rectify the error. So that is interpreter. For the reason it is considered as slow processor, because it reads line by line. If any error comes in any line, it gives us the message about for that line only. So that is interpreter. But it is good for the beginners, for learning purpose. They can be better understand the language instructions, the instruction of the language. Okay, what is the meaning of this code, how it runs, how it behaves. Third one is compiler. Compiler is a language processor which converts high level language into machine language in one go only, at once only. So for the reason it is fast in performance, right? But little slow in processing but fast in performance. As it goes at once, so it's processed slowly but performance will be faster. That is compiler. So what is compiler? Compiler converts a high level HLL, means high level language program, into machine language in one go only, means at once only, and reports the error of the program along with the line numbers. After executing the program, it takes a large amount of time to analyze the source code, but the overall execution time is comparatively faster. That is about compiler. Then third one is device drivers. So I told you before about device drivers. And then utility software. Now come to the fourth point, utility software. Device driver, as we all know that it runs the different devices. Whenever we install new devices, we need one driver to install with the devices. Also, like keyboard, if we will install, then we need a driver of the keyboard, through which keyboard start communicating with the hardware of the system, and then it works smoothly. And if speaker is there, then it also needs a sound card and a driver of the sound card, right? So that is device driver. Then is utility software through which we can do cleaning of the computer system. We can clean the computer system, we can format the disk. All these tasks we can be able to do. Now, what are the main utility programs? What are the different utility programs? So, the main utility programs are file and folder management, disk management, virus scanner or cleaner, third one, and fourth one is encryption and decryption tools. Now, we'll see one by one, each and every one. Now, see, file and folder management. It is a utility software through which we can manage the file and folder. We can manage the file and folder, that means we can handle the files. We can organize the folders. That is what file and folder management is. We can compare the files also. Okay, there are two places. The same file it gives you information about you are going to replace that is the name which you are going to copy, carrying the same name in this folder, in this drive. So whether overwrite it or make its copy, right? So all these are file and folder management. It happens by the help of file and folder management only. Then disk management, through which we can manage the disk. How we can manage the disk? We can manage the disk means hard disk drive. So we can manage the disk, we can format the disk, we can defragment the disk, we can scan the disk, we can clean the disk, right? So that is disk management. So application comes for the purpose of management of the disk. There are default also. In Windows, there are default software are also which we can use. But sometimes for better performance, we install software from third party or some other software we install. Or by the company, we combine both the softwares, internal means whatever in Windows also and from other software also. Combining both we work for better result. Then is third is virus scanner or cleaner, through which we can clean the virus. We can remove the virus. And encryption decryption software. This is what this is. Encryption decryption software is that the tools, utility tools through which we can encrypt the data to maintain the confidentiality of the data. To encrypt the data is known as encryption, and again to revert it back to its original form is known as decryption. There are software through which we can encrypt the data to maintain its confidentiality and decrypt the data also by the help of a key, right? So that is known as encryption and decryption software. Now when we talk about virus scanner, so there are many antivirus software available such as McAfee, Quick Heal and Kaspersky and many others, Norton, Avira, right? So those are virus scanner software. And encryption decryption software example will be BitLocker, LastPass, 7-Zip, VeraCrypt. All these are example of encryption and decryption software. Now in your exams, in objective question comes about ciphertext, CIPHER text. Ciphertext. What is ciphertext? Here it is. See, it comes under encryption decryption software. That what is ciphertext? So encrypted data, when we encrypt the data by the help of encryption software, that encrypted data is known as ciphertext, which no one can be able to read. That is ciphertext, right? So remember this, very important for your objective questions in internal exam. It may comes in any exams and final also. So all these were system software.